Do you ever wonder, do some people have more than 24 hours in a day? I mean, how do they do it all? All these people in social media. Their business is going well, their personal life seems flawless, and they seem to have endless energy and time to do things that they want to do. And then there's you, feeling like you've never got enough time to get things done. You're constantly doing things, trying to keep up, but you still feel like you're falling behind. I totally get it. The pressure to stay on top of everything, it's overwhelming and it's easy to get stuck in that cycle. But there is a way to make what you truly want more achievable. In this video, I want to share with you some incredibly insightful tips that I got from the book The One Thing, which has helped me shift completely the way I approach productivity and success. But before that, welcome to my channel or welcome back. This is Sabina, and in this space we talk about growth and lessons and how to not lose your mind while doing it. So hit that subscribe button and let's get into it. Number 1. Narrow down your focus on one thing. I've always been someone who makes to-do lists in the beginning of the day. And it was working wonderfully for me because every time I complete task, it was so satisfying and it would activate my reward system. It would make me feel so good. But what I've come to realize is that list can give me sense of accomplishment, but that doesn't necessarily mean I am accomplishing the right thing. We all have that natural desire to do everything. Like for me, I want to practice my guitar more, swim more, crochet everything I possibly could, learn dancing, watch movies, read fiction, read non-fiction, and obviously work on my content creation. And if I wanted to, I can schedule all of this throughout my day, giving each of them 30 minutes. But the reality is, when you try to juggle too many things at once, your focus gets divided. And as a result, your progress in every area is very slow and you lose motivation. That's why instead of making to-do list, you need to make list of absolute necessary thing that you need to accomplish today. This will help you prioritize. And from that list, just pick one thing, the one thing that will help you get closer to your main goal. For me, that is getting my contents done. And for you, it might be something else. When you focus on just one thing, you can dive deeper into it. Find your flow and get into that productive zone without stressing over your growing to-do list. And once you completed that task, choose another most important thing from your absolute necessary list and keep going on like that until you have energy to do so. But don't push yourself too much to the point you run out of all the energy you have, because you will burn out. And that's not the point of making absolute necessary list. Whole point of doing it is prioritizing what truly matters to you to take you to your main goal. The people you see online who seems to get so much done, the thing is they've mastered the art of prioritization. They focus on their one goal, which gives them results. And that's how you create flow, make real progress, and achieve success. 2. Multitasking is BS. How many of you, when you apply for a job, has written "I am a multitasker" in their CV? Well, I would call you a liar, but I've done the same thing until I realized there's no such thing as multitasking. We've been lied to. We're told that we can multitask, that our brain works like computer, but that is not true. Because even computer that seems to be multitasking, they're actually switching from one program to another second by second. But because they do it in like millisecond, it appears that they are multitasking. But human brain doesn't have that capacity. The truth is, we can't focus on two different tasks that need our conscious focus at the same time. Some things like breathing, walking doesn't need our conscious focus. But when we try to do two different things that requires our focus, we're just switching between two different tasks very fast. But the thing is, even computers starts to slow down when you open too many programs. And our human brain is much less capable of that. When you think you're multitasking, you're just tiring your brain. When you try to work on multiple tasks at the same time, one of them is distraction for the one important task you are doing. For example, if you were working on your tasks and you get a text from your friend, your focus shifts from your work to phone immediately. It doesn't seem like that big of a deal, right? But have you noticed how hard it is for you to refocus on your work once you've looked at your phone? That is because it takes up to 23 minutes to regain your focus once you've been distracted or once you've switched your attention. That's 23 minutes you've just lost. Multitasking is a trap. You're not doing more. You're just doing less of everything. So stop. Figure out what your one thing is and work on that without distraction. You don't want to be one of those people who lose third of their day trying to regain focus after being distracted. Number 3, domino effect. Domino effect is an experiment that shows how a small action can lead to something massive. When you line up dominoes, gradually increasing their size by 50%, the first domino can knock down the second domino, which is 50% larger. If you line up 23 of these dominoes, it can knock down the Eiffel Tower. And if you line up 31 of these, it can tower over Mount Everest. This domino effect is exactly how you tackle your big goals in life. If you align all the actions that's necessary to achieve that goal, you will be able to knock it down. But you have to figure out what your first domino is in order to tackle that big goal. So how do you figure out what your first domino is? Ask yourself these few questions. What is your someday goal? Why is this your goal? What's your purpose? What can you do in 5 years to achieve this goal? What can you do this year to achieve that goal? What can you do this month, this week, today? And the most important part, what can you do right now? Your first domino is the thing that you need to do right now. Why is this important? Because when you break down that big goal into small doable steps, your goal becomes more achievable. Without this smaller step, your goal just seems too far away. And you won't have motivation to start because you don't even know where to begin. For example, Luna's someday goal is to influence people to live healthier life. Why? Because she's struggled with her own health issue and she wants to help other people overcome the same challenges. So how can she get to that goal within 5 years? She decides to become a fitness coach, which feels impossible right now because she's never been to gym before. So what can she do this year to make that 5-year goal come true? She can learn gym skill and get fit. So what can she do this month to get that 1-year goal? She can start going to the gym. What can she do this week? She can join the gym membership. What can she do today? She can start researching the gym nearby which fits her. Which one seems more attainable? Becoming a fitness coach or finding a gym that fits? That is how you break big goals into smaller manageable actions. And remember, you can always adjust this step as needed. 4. Set out rest time and maintain the balance in other areas of your life. People who are successful always have rest built in their schedule for the day and vacation locked in for a long-term plan. And you know why? Because if you're working all the time without break, you will burn out. And when you burn out, you lose motivation. And suddenly even the things that you love doing starts to feel like a chore. But when you give yourself rest, you allow your body and mind to recharge. Think of your brain like a phone. If you keep running it non-stop without charging, it's only a matter of time before it shuts down. So fuel your brain with what it needs and get back to work with full energy and motivation. That way you don't end up doing things half-heartedly. If you don't have much time to spare for the rest, one of the best way to fuel your brain is the food. And no, I'm not talking about sugary junk food. I'm talking about food that truly helps your brain get energized, like nuts, avocado, beans, berries. They aren't just healthy. They help your brain function better. Another way of preventing burnout is blocking your work time and don't overdo it. If you've committed to 2 hours of deep work today, do those 2 hours with no excuses, no distraction. But stop after that 2 hours is up, even if you want to keep going. I realized this when I first started editing my videos. I loved it. I could sit for hours doing it. But when I started to push myself to work longer, just because I loved it, I started to feel exhausted. Next day, instead of feeling excited to do it again, I felt drained. And that's when I realized, no matter how much you love something, overdoing it can kill your excitement. But when I started setting time and stopped working while I still wanted to keep going, something changed. Instead of exhausting myself, I left each session wanting more. And that feeling made me look forward to working again next day. It's like stopping a great movie just before climax. You would want to come back for it. That's the key. Don't burn out. Stop while you're still excited and keep that excitement alive. This way your passion remains passion, not chore. Start small, even 20 minutes is enough to begin with. And you can slowly increase your time limit from there. This book suggests 4 hours of deep work daily. But for me personally, I find 3 hours to be my sweet spot. And don't forget, rest isn't luxury. It's necessity. Think of them as reward for your hard work, something to look forward while you grind. Motivation isn't just about discipline. It's also about knowing when to rest so that you can keep going for a long run. And rest doesn't necessarily have to be vacation. You can take break by unplugging for a day, exploring your city like a tourist, having a cozy staycation at home, or simply giving yourself permission to rest without guilt. The goal isn't about escaping your life. It's to recharge so you can come back stronger. This book has given me many valuable lessons, and that's why I decided to make this video, because I've seen real change in myself. I highly encourage you to figure out what your one thing is and start lining up your dominoes. Trust me, it makes all the difference. And as always, I appreciate you coming by and watching my video and supporting me. If you like this video, please like and subscribe because that would help me a lot. And I hope to see you on my next one. I love you. Bye. Mwah.